Well, today's going to be a different type of video. This isn't a video that I normally do very often, but this is something I think it needs to be stressed at how good this situation is. And not really a situation, but how good this feels. So Jake Tapper is he's a host at CNN. He does other stuff there. He is always covering the news and the politics stuff, but he tries to be objective. He has his own biases, but he tries to be objective, and that's a whole hell of a lot better than what most of the people at CNN do. Plus, he's a respectable guy. I've seen him retweet, and I see him a lot of times. He'll retweet stuff that is not of his perspective, especially if it's contradicting it. He'll still retweet it. He wants every possible perspective of a situation known, which is a good thing for a journalist to do, even if he does have his own biases towards the situation. But Jake Tapper did something really good here, and it should be stressed. Like, this is probably something not even going to be covered by CNN. Maybe Jake will say something about it. Then, CNN will be like, "Yeah, we need to go something else." But Jake did something I think was really good. So, for those of you who don't know, there was a veteran who was being buried, I think today, in this town of Killeen. It was supposed to be in between. It's supposed to be in between Waco and Austin. So it's like, I wouldn't have been able to make it because I was at work last night. But I saw him tweeting about this yesterday. And so the tweet goes, "Attention Texans. No one is expected to attend the funeral for Joseph Walker, who served in the U.S. Air Force 1964 to 1968. His funeral will take place Monday at 10 a.m. at the Central Texas State Cemetery." And he has the address and the city or town that it's in. And he also shared a link to an article. So it's like, and then I looked at the comments. I mean, there's different types of people who were like, expressing condolences. Like, I took a couple screenshots of like all the people, saying like, "Hey, I live in Texas. I'm going to go get my ass down there in the morning as soon as I can." There's like so many people just expressing, like, from probably different walks of political life. And that's such a wholesome thing to, realize. And then and I think another journalist on Twitter, her name's Jeanette Shamlane or something. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that last name wrong. I don't know exactly who she is. I guess she works at MSNBC. She's a Chicago-born Texan. Yeah, she works at NBC News. I can see our profile pic, but she retweeted this, and it shows like a long line of cars going, like a really long line of cars stretching for miles to attend the funeral of an Air Force veteran with no family after fears he would be buried with no one attending. That's her words, not mine. That's wholesome, okay? And I don't know if this like whoever wrote the article in the first place, you're doing a damn good job. But this is also really good coming from two news journalists. They're not trying to throw pot shots at anyone. They're not trying to use this to go after the president or anything like that, like most people would. Like, on either side of the aisle, I mean, let's be frank. People are going to try to do that to get to the president. They'll use people who are hurting or dying or are dead to push a political agenda. But Jake Tapper didn't do that. All right. This lady, this Janet lady, she didn't do that either. Okay? They saw something really sad and spread awareness of it. But they weren't trying to be dicks or anything. All right? The dude had no family. No one was going to show up. But whoever wrote that first article, whoever brought it to the attention of Jake Tapper and this lady, they put that out there, and then they did the right thing, which was tell people that were living in that area to go to that man's funeral. He's a veteran. All right, no veteran deserves to be buried alone, as I think the quote went. All right, it's just a sad thing, and I applaud the man for his service. My stepdad's an Air Force veteran. My dad was the National Guard, but he did fight in Iraq for a few years. That hurt. That hits deep. Like, seeing that. This goes to show you that there are good people in the news media. All right, and this is a story I think would really bring us together as as a country. Like these types of stories, instead of focusing on all the political ramshot bullshit that's going around so much, why don't we focus on stories like these? All right, focus on things like this, things that will bring us together. Instead of just looking at the stuff that's going to divide people and then being intentionally divisive, why can't we be like this, to actually come to a middle ground, come to a place that's sacred, say, hey, we should come together. Okay, I wish we would be able to do that, but we have so many different perspectives from everyone, and a lot of people are just going to go with what the mainstream says, left or right. And there's a fair amount of toxicity going around, and it's affected almost everything, especially the things that we used to hold in dear in terms of common ground. All right, this dude's a Vietnam vet. Okay, the most fucked up generation in terms of war. Okay, and it's just sad that he had no family that was with him at the time he died, but those people who rose awareness of his burial, they did a really good thing. And, that's something that we should be caring more about. We should be coming together more as a country. If we had more stories like these, where people who we may disagree with are saying, hey, here's something sad going on, and raising awareness of it, and then people on the other side of the aisle are coming in saying, wow, thank you for showing me this. This would really help us. This would really help us in terms of culture. Right? Even if we disagree on politics, there are still things that we can come to an agreement on. Is that, we could come to an agreement on this. We can be sad for this man who died. We can, there's just a lot of stuff we could do with this. But, this may just be a short-lived story. But this story does give me hope. But yeah, this is a good on Jake Tapper. He did good. I don't know. Many people are going to cover it. Probably Fox, since he's a veteran. I'd highly doubt CNN's going to cover it on the actual programming, unless Jake Tapper gets on there and maybe says something if they let him. But props to you, Jake. Props to you. Good man. So I'm just going to leave everybody with, there are things that we can still come together on. All right? Why don't we try to focus that and try to gain an understanding with each other? Please. That's all I'm asking.